Hey everyone! In this video, we'll be covering how to make Taco Bell's newest creation, the quesalupa, at home. This delicious cross between a quesadilla and a chalupa may have some people mystified about how they get cheese into a chalupa shell, but actually it's quite simple. Some sources suggest combining 2 tortillas together to make these, but we recommend using pita bread since it's much easier and chalupas have always been made from deep-fried flatbread. For starters, you'll need at least 1 pocket pita, which can be found at most grocery stores or delis. Next, you'll need some sort of meat filling, such as chicken or beef. You can grill some fresh, but it's much easier to heat up leftovers instead. You also need chopped up veggies of your choice. We usually use tomatoes, peppers, and/or onions since it simulates fresh pico de gallo. You also need some vegetable oil for frying your quesalupa shell, as well as some cheese to stuff it with, such as pepper jack or cheddar. Let's get started. Begin by cutting your pocket pita open about halfway around using a small knife, being careful not to rip it. Make sure you make enough of an opening that you can reach inside to stuff it. That looks good. As mentioned, you can use either sliced or shredded cheese, though freshly shredded cheese will melt the best. If needed, measure out the cheese on your pita to get a visual of how much you'll need. Begin stuffing the pita full of cheese, making sure that it's evenly distributed in a thin layer. Make sure you have some left after this as a topping for your quesalupa. Make sure to chop up your vegetables and chicken at this point, since you'll need everything ready as soon as your shell is done frying. The cheese inside the shell will stop being melty if it sits around for too long, so you'll need to work fast. Heat your oil in a frying pan on medium heat until it's hot. You can test it by dropping a small piece of cheese or other food in and looking for bubbling. When it's ready, place your pita in and start frying. Using a fork or tongs, fry the pita, pressing it down in place to help keep the shell closed. This helps prevent oil from getting in and cheese from leaking out. You should also set aside a plate with some paper towels handy for when your quesalupa is done frying. Keep a close eye on the pita since it'll fry very quickly and can start burning in the blink of an eye. When the edges look golden brown, flip it over and continue frying. Make sure to press the pita down still and keep watching it to make sure it does not overcook. When the other side also looks golden brown, take it out using your tongs and place it onto a plate with paper towels. Now comes the most crucial part. Place your fried pita onto the paper towel lined plate to let the oil drain off. Start blotting the excess off of the shell with another paper towel, while also rolling the shell up, shaping it into a quesalupa shell. Make sure to work quickly during this step since the shell will become rigid as it cools, which will make it crack apart. Once you have a good shape, blot any more leftover oil, and your quesalupa shell is now complete. Ta-da! After all that stressful frying comes the easy part, assembling your quesalupa. If you're planning on using any meat, it should come about halfway up the size. Next, add whatever vegetables you're using as well. First we put on our tomatoes, then our peppers, and lastly the onions. At this point, you can add any condiments or dressings you'd like. Usually Taco Bell uses chipotle ranch on regular chalupas, but adds sour cream onto supreme and queso sauce on nacho cheese chalupas. Last but not least, add your leftover cheese as a topping and your quesalupa is now complete. Yummy! While it's not always faster to make your own, a homemade quesalupa will be much healthier and you can customize it any way you like. They are really delicious. Want to make some more Taco Bell items at home? Check out the Poor Couples Food Guide blog by clicking the link below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check us out on Facebook. Keep on cooking!